Hello, hello, hello! It's me, Coach B! Glad to see you again. Really excited for this week's episode where we get to interview one of our tennis pros, Tony Huber. Yes. It was really an enlightening interview to have. Very exciting, very fun, some fun questions. Talked about the tour, talked about New Rochelle Racket and the good old family here that we got. I can't wait to finally live my Barbara Walters fantasy. And without any further ado, let's get right into the interview. Well, look who we have here. Coach Tony Huber. Thank you so much for joining me on my show today.
Thank you for inviting me. This is episode,
well, actually, this is our special pro corner with Coach B.
Nice.
So we like to do a little something else along with the main show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Oh my God, you're welcome. Well, first things first, please have a bite of Cinnamon Toast Crunch before we begin the interview.
You know, my normal cereal is Frosted Flakes because Tony the Tiger, they're great, but second place, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Ah! I knew I got someone good for this first pro interview. Feeling really excited. Okay, are you ready for some questions? We're gonna talk, about tea with tennis and...
Fire away, baby.
I'm firing right away. Okay, question number 1. Okay, I've coached for like 7 years of my life right out of college. I'm wondering, how many have you coached? And do you remember your first day coaching?
I do. The class was called Rabbits, which would kind of be, this is how long I've been coaching, before red ball, orange ball, green ball.
Oh my God, the only yellow ball days.
Would have been in 1991. We are now in year 2021, so I believe my 5 years of high school would say that is 30 years I've been coaching.
Oh, MG. You mentioned a year I was not alive in, so no tea, but that's truth. Wow, that's incredible. And your first day, you said Rabbits was your first day, and there were the little babies bumping.
The little ones.
That's a cute name, little Rabbits. I love that. Okay, cool. If you had to possess a tennis superpower, what would it be?
Oh, geez. I was just hoping you were going to say a superpower.
No, it's got to be tennis related.
My superpower would be to just be able to fly, since it's a pain in the butt to fly on a plane right now. But for tennis, I would definitely have to say the power to turn everyone else's shot into slow motion so I could at least get to the ball.
That's so smart. That's so smart. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, I love that. I have heard that you coached some successful players in your career. Anyone notable that could lead me to squeal at a very high pitch? Any stories?
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate. I've got to be part of player support teams for many famous tennis players. So usually I start with, and it wasn't my first one, but the most famous one. And maybe we can make a game out of it.
Oh yeah.
Her name rhymes with Martina Navratilova.
Oh! Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it.
And I've learned so much from her. A living legend. Okay, so that would be my most high-profile one.
She's high profile.
Yeah, very high profile.
She's high profile. Yeah, Martina. If you didn't get the rhyme, it's Martina Navratilova. Yeah, that's iconic. That's very extraordinary. Wow. Anyone else? I mean, I love Martina, but I'm a 2000s type.
Going into Valentine's Day,
right?
I'm married, so I do have a wife who also happened to play. Her name is Liesl Huber, so that's where most people have me connected with, since that's who I was with most of the pro tour career.
That's amazing, and Liesl's an icon, of course. Doubles, just one of the greats, and so of course followed her career and all of the partners, because of course I've followed it in my own little way, not quite like you up in the front row winning slams. Wait, you were in the front row, right? You were a coach during a slam win. Can you just put those feelings, put it into me?
Yeah, I mean, you get a very good seat, I will say that.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm looking at the court.
You're
have a good
there.
Seat. Am I excited or am I really chill?
Well, the key is for me is you play the poker face. Okay. So my kind of game face would be more like,
ooh.
And that's it. They can't tell if I'm emotional or not. If I get too emotional, they might get too emotional. So it's like, I don't want to play any impact in that. They know 100% that I'm supporting them and I have their back, but my job is not to get too excited out there.
A lot of times I've seen like players like screaming at their box, and then they show the box and they're just like, is that what you do? Has that happened? And are you just not supposed to respond?
I learned to do it. In the very beginning, I would take it personal, and then I would go up after the match and be like, hey, why were you saying blah, 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 blah to me? And the players always say this, I didn't say that. Like they're so involved emotionally in the match. The problem is they don't even realize a lot of the times what they're saying or yelling at the box. And once I realized that, it's like, well, I don't need to get in a confrontation about that. Just clap and encourage.
Wow. That's really cool. Because one day I kind of want to like be a coach for a player, but I have a friend of mine, David, who also became friends with a player and like essentially became some sort of coaching staff. Like was it just made her feel good and feel happy. And like I feel like at the end of the day when I'm coaching, that's the goal. It's just like making them feel comfortable to play their best.
Yeah, that's why it's called player support team. You're there to support.
Stop! You're getting me emotional with these things. Ooh. Your picks for the Australian Open?
Okay, so I'm kind of an oddball.
Oh, please.
I'm a very big data person, so I don't go with who I think's gonna win. The types of picks I like to do is like, how many double faults are there gonna be for the entire tournament? How many aces are there gonna be? What's the longest rally gonna be? And those are kind of the predictions I like to make. I typically, in coaching, I set that up, I gear up always for Wimbledon. Okay. That's the one. So if you had to like quiz me right now on the Australian Open, it might be a tough one because I don't really study the past history of those things too much because I do it for Wimbledon. But when we do the Wimbledon episode, come back to me on that.
Okay, listen to me right now because you're a no-T, but you're on my show and I'm asking you who you like for this tournament, who you think can win. I need names from you. No, I need names, you know. I know you're professional, but I want to hear it.
I'm gonna really go on a limb. I'm gonna go Osaka.
Yes!
If that's a limb. And I'm gonna go with Djokovic. So I know those are two dark horses, but I think that those will be my two picks this year.
Yeah, I did a draw and I put Barty on my girls' draw. It's very tough since an Aussie girl hasn't won in forever. And I heard she's like having a little, I don't know, she seemed like she was having health issues, but she was like, I'm fit as a fiddle. She did say that, but she could be lying. So I'm not trying to call any players liars, but you know how we don't want to reveal injuries. What have you enjoyed most about coaching at New Rochelle Racket Club?
Well, what I love about this club is it seems like everyone gets along. The staff gets along. The coaches get along with each other. The ladies clinic, everyone gets along so well that when I first called Josh, he's like, I heard you're looking for a family. He didn't say job, he said family. And I was like, wait, what? Did I call the right place? He goes, no, Tony, you mean you're looking for a place that you could feel like your home? And I'm like, exactly. And from day one, I will say, that's exactly how it's felt here.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. That's an amazing sentiment. I really appreciate that. Okay, I got my questions all rattled here. Oh, I want to do a little this or that. Who would you rather coach? Okay. A crying toddler or a rude adult?
I usually have candy in my bag, so I'm gonna go with the crybaby.
Because you could quell that with candy.
I could just give him a little bit of candy and life is good.
I'm telling you, you are a smart man. Okay, now let's get into the pros. Venus or Serena?
I'm gonna go with Venus. Venus has a little bit easier temperament, I think, for me.
Okay.
Plus, I wouldn't want to tick off Patrick too much or coach at the moment. So I'm gonna do the safe one. I'm gonna say Venus.
Okay, all right, that's a good one. I would also say Venus because she's the queen of all queens, period, point blank, no discussion. But yeah, also, okay, next this or that, Rafa, Roger, or Novak?
Well, I would say I would take any three, but I'm gonna go with Roger.
Why?
I'm gonna go with Rafa. I'm going to go with
okay.
Djokovic. You can't go wrong with either one of those because they always say what makes a good coach? Have a good player. In any three of them. I think each one brings something a little bit different, but kind of the all-around. I think Federer's just maybe a little bit more all-around. You can learn mental stuff from him, physical stuff from him. He sure seems to be a really nice guy, just like the other ones. He's got kids. I've got kids. Maybe my boys can play with his daughters one day in Wimbledon mixed final or something. So
okay,
I'm gonna stick with Roger. Plus, he's closer to my age.
Cool. Well, if that happens and then you do that, like, if I come Kiki at like Wimbledon and you're around, I could be like, remember me? Like, can I at least get like some sort of ticketing? I don't have to be like on the court, but like for the after parties, I don't know. Player parties. I have outfits. I have wigs. Would you rather have a player who is immensely talented but not a hard worker, or a good hard worker but not sure, like you're worried if he can even make a slam quarter?
I would definitely go with the hard worker. Because that's the one thing you always ask from any player at any level is that they give their best effort, and at the end of the day that's the one thing that they can control. So if they could do that, I think that's an easier job, though sometimes you've got to be on the other side and you got to figure out how to draw that out of some players. So
wow, preach Coach Tony. Okay, what's your favorite slam? What's your favorite slam to be at?
Aussie.
Oh!
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi! Come on! Me too. Is it because it's the happy slam?
Well, the one cool thing about the venue is it's, of all the four, it's the only one where you could literally be in downtown and walk to the venue. Where the other ones are always set a little bit back. That one, you are right in the thick of things. And they also set up the whole city, so even if you don't have a ticket, there's like parks you can go to that they set up to look just like the tournament, and you can watch it on the big screen. Everyone's in a good mood. It's summertime when it's winter here in the US. So it's just, there's a reason they call it the Happy Slam, and everyone's in a good mood. It's awesome.
It's amazing. I actually went there once too, was super blessed. And yeah, it was a really good time. I remember it was like $35 to get up into the grounds at night. And I remember Rod Laver during the day, I was like, security isn't bumping. So I was like, So I got a grounds pass to hopefully get into Laver without the Laver ticket. And there was like a security at the opening door, and then there was another door that they weren't manning. So I did a little like, let me see when I can swoop in. I swooped in. So that was a landmark moment of my life. And it's incredible that you went more than just once, because it was a dream for me to just go once. But that's incredible. I agree with your answer there. And one more question. Have you ever brought a player from rags to riches?
So on the tour, even though I've been lucky to work with some pretty high profile players, the credit I get most for is a player named Chanel Skeepers. She was from South Africa. Shawnee.
Yep.
Or as I would call her, Chanelope.
Liv.
She, when I started with her, she was still playing Challenger, so she was maybe 400 in the world and, couldn't afford a full-time coach, but whenever she could, she would come and stay with us in Houston. And it eventually turned into a full-time job working with her, and at least with time with me, I believe she made it to the quarterfinals of the French. So
stop. With you?
With me.
You better stop.
The first time I worked with her, I think she made the second round of qualifying at a 50,000, and at the end it was like around a 16 or a quarterfinal at the French. So that's my best work amongst the coaches.
That's amazing. And so I have a friend who was on the tour when you were kind of on the tour, a little thing. Her name's Ashley Harkleroad. Me and her are good girlfriends. And I was just wondering, do you have any stories about her, or like when she was killing it?
Not that we could put on the show. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You better stop. That's my friend. Ash is my friend.
I know that's the only reason I said I knew he'd get emotional about it. No, she is great. It was really a cool experience because when she was coming up, we needed someone like her. And I know her career maybe went a little bit shorter than what we all hoped for, but she was a great talent, fun on the court, very pleasant person.
Yeah, we stand Ash in this house. We also stand Osaka. You mentioned her. I don't know if you watched the show, but you know we're big stans of Naomi in this house as well. So you're really doing well. You're buttering the show right up, and it's everything. So I think that's all we have for today. It was really cool getting some insight on one of my coworkers and just someone who has so much experience and talent and like brains and just like a cool dude.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on the show.
It was awesome.
OMG.
Bye, everybody.
Bye! Stay tuned next time for another pro interview with Coach B. Deuces! Just do a little dance out. As we're dancing. Can you vote? Can you vote?
No, I can TikTok.
Uh-oh. All right, let's turn these cameras off. Thank you so much for watching this lovely interview with Coach Tony and myself. We had a blast. We had no blow-ups during the interview, no contentiousness like you would on a tennis court. No! We worked together, and I think we had a phenomenal interview. I thought it was fun. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next pro interview. It's gonna be another fun one. The plant says you need to watch the pro interview. I know, I agree.